Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here, and other half. We're on a little other half kick as of late. Last beer we actually reviewed from them, broccoli. This, be Rabe, R-A-B-E. Get it? Broccoli Rabe. We get a ton of other half in distro now, and it's easy to kind of pick them up and just drink them and not even really think about them. And I've come to realize that I haven't reviewed a ton of them, more specifically as of late, so when I pick them up, I'm going to make sure they get reviewed. This one I'm kind of curious about, because it's a low ABV version, I assume, of their broccoli. It says Other Half Brewing, it's Rabe, double dry hopped India Pale Ale. It's got a silver cap. We have a BK on there, so we have Brooklyn. This is brewed at, I believe. It's a Citra, Cashmere, and Simcoe IPA coming in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, and their story time says, a hazy IPA brewed with a hand-select blend of hops giving notes of lychee, pineapple, orange, and candied fruits. So it's probably just a play on a name. You know, one's broccoli, one's broccoli, or just Rabe. But I kind of dig it. It made me buy it, let's put it that way. Plus, it had a decent price point. You know, it's low ABV, but it was like $16. You know, for a little new, never had before, never seen before. Low ABV haze from Other Half, that's not too shabby. So yeah, I always dig their labels. You know, as much as I make fun of the old geometric pattern kind of hipster thing, it works for a reason. So I dig it. Beer-wise, it actually has this kind of, oddly enough, it probably looks, that's probably close to what it looks like. I got some fruit flies going on in here. Actually, a decent amount. I haven't had fruit flies up in here yet. I wonder why. But it has this kind of murkiness to it. A little bit kind of grayish, brownish to it that's not typical of a hazy, especially at this low ABV. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look really all that oxidized. Just a little bit kind of muted, I guess you would say, in color. Instead of that vibrant orange. Just barely off-white kind of head. Bit hefty turbidity for low ABV. It's a good nose. It smells quite nice. I mean, it really is this kind of sweeter, citrusy kind of tropical fruit. They talk about a lychee thing. I'm probably leaning more like a kiwi, pineapple kind of mixture kind of thing. We're getting the same place through the avenues, I think. And it has this nice kind of sweetness to it without being over the top. Definitely comes off aromatically like something more like a regular IPA as opposed to a low ABV IPA. It smells quite nice. Not groundbreaking, not otherworldly kind of stuff going on here, but enough to get me a little hazy sense tingling. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. That's tasty. What a time to be alive. These low ABV hazies, man, they are my jam. Especially when they drink with a much bigger impact. I mean, based off of the nose, you expect to get these kind of flavors. It's much more flushed out. There's more to it than just a kind of pineapple kind of kiwi combination here. Definitely a little bit more vibrant on the citrus end, especially in a bittering, pithy kind of grapefruitiness. And definitely a bit more there in the tropical fruit side of things. And much more boisterous, much more volumetric than 5.5%, or even nose would lead you to believe. It has a really nice sweetness to it that actually doesn't do that like soft confectionery thing. It actually has a little sharp sweetness to it. It doesn't come nearly close to being overly sweet. But the sweetness is a little bit more impactful here. It's a little bit more sharper than what you get from a lot of these lower ABV hazies. Could be an under attenuation thing, but I think it works with this beer. I think it actually props this beer up, makes you think it's a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger of a beer. There's a bitterness here, you know, a green kind of bitterness to it, a little vegetal kind of bitterness going on. Nothing too hefty, but enough to kind of balance off that sweetness that we're talking about. That's really good. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. It's really good. It's probably one of the better, back-to-back days. Yesterday I reviewed a beer from Schenker Brewing Company. They're a little pale ale from them, hazy pale from them. Same thing with this thing. Probably one of the better, kind of eking up, if not on Mount Rushmore level, kind of low ABV haze. And honestly, the other half really has that kind of beer in their arsenal already. I think Forever and Ever is kind of a staple. Easy to get, $14.99. Always going to deliver a really nice, well done kind of hazy. This comes off a bit more tropical, a bit more bolder. Forever and Ever is like impactful low ABV beer. This is a low ABV beer that drinks more like an IPA, dare I say, eking towards a double IPA as far as impact, both from a sweetness and hop standpoint, and just gives you gobs of that citrus along with that tropical fruit on both ends of the spectrum. It's a really, really, really tasty beer and really well done. Honestly, you're talking about well done haze, world class haze. I think this is kind of up there. I'm trying to think if there's anything that really poopy about it that I can talk about. There's maybe if I'm going to really nitpick. After a couple sips, there's maybe a slightly kind of chalkiness to it. You know, that's really nitpicking here. I think it's just a product of trying to get this level of mouthfeel at this low ABV. You tend to throw about a lot of stuff at it, whether it be whatever compounds are floating in there, a little bit of particulate hop, whatever, kind of weighs a little heavy on the palate, comes off slightly chalky. I mean, this is really ultra nitpicking stuff. But as far as impact goes, it's one of the better low ABV jams I've had as late. Dare I say Mount Rushmore status. Let's put it up there. Is it? Yes. Valued availability on this, like I said, I want to say I paid, it was $16 American for this, in which, you know, the way beers are nowadays, it's kind of what you pay, and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like low ABV haze, you know, if you're into the, you know, the carton boats, the sneak boxes, the pseudo-sues of the world, this is really going to do you different, but the same kind of proper level proper. So there you go. Other half. Have you been to the breweries? Have you been to Brooklyn? Have you been to DC? Have you been to Great Lakes, Finger Lakes, Philly? I don't know. The Moon. They probably have a place on the Moon now. Have you been to the Moon? Have you had this batch of this old Rabe here? Let's talk about all that stuff down there. Review's over. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of low ABV haze right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.